Hey guys, welcome to this channel. This is the part 2 of this tutorial, as I promised the last time. If you are yet to see the first part, please do where to watch it. I'll be leaving the link on the comment section, and please like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Tell me what you think about this video on the comment section. And for those who subscribe to my YouTube channel, thank you so much. I really appreciate all your comments and likes. May God bless you. So to get started, I've also fixed my zip, right? And this is the slit. So this is where I want the first layer to start from. You see the picture, you see that it has two layers. The first layer is in a way that it is not this is the first layer here, and the gathers is not that much. So that's what I'm first going to consider in this place. So what I will do is that I'll measure this place round. So just place your tape rule starting from the back, from the slit at the back. You measure it all round. So when I measure it round, what I have was 40 inches. So that 40 inches now, and I times it by 1.5, which gave me 60 inches, right? So it's the 60 inches now I'm going to use to cut of my net. So the width of the net is going to be 60 inches. Then to determine the length of the two nets, remember that you measure the full gown length, right? Because this first layer will also extend to the two nets, the length of the two nets. That is the total length of the gown. So that's what we are going to consider here. So mine, I'm going to be adding 5 inches to this to complete my full length. So if I measure what I have here to the 5 inches, will give me 21 inches. Remember the two nets, you don't need to hem the down part, so it's fine. So 21 inches is what I'm going to cut by length. So 21 inches by 60 inches width. So that's what I'm going to cut for my two nets. So here is it now. I've already cut it. So now this is folded into two. So folding into two this way, and measure it, it will be 30 inches. So that means that if I open it up, it will be the 60 inches, right? Then the length, as I said before now, is 21 inches, and that's what I have here. So now the next thing I'm going to do now is that I can either start pleating it on this area, or just open it up this way, right? Then I can start pleating it on it, just a little pleat, right? Just a little pleat. I'll start pleating it on it this way. Then I will now use this to sew on top. After pleating it and sew it all around, then I will place this on top and sew it, right? Then after which I can open this up and repeat the second one, because the second one will be I'm going to come down 7 inches for this first part. Hope you understand what I'm doing now. I'm going to be coming down from this place that I want it to start from. I'm going to come down, let's say 7.5 inches. So this is where I'm going to be starting the second one from, and the length is going to be the same to this, and the second one is going to be this first one, the width that we use, which is 60 inches times 2. That's what I'm going to be making use of, times 2, because the down part is fuller than the upper part, right? The pleat at the down part has more volume, so that's the reason why I'm going to be timesing this part times 2 rather. I'm going to be timesing the down part times 2, because the down part have more volume than the upper part. Then I'm also going to just pleat it on top. So what I'm just going to do is that I'll just go over to my sewing machine and pleat this. I'll just run stitch on it, let's say half an inch. I'll just pleat it and run the stitch on it all round. So I will just open it up this way. I will make sure that while I'm sewing, I don't sew my two parts together, that the front and back. So I'll open it up this way. Open it up this way in a way that I'm not going to be sewing the down and the upper parts together. So I'm just going to spread it on my sewing machine this way. Then bring this, I can start it from the middle, notch the middle of this and start pleating it on it while I'm sewing it all around. Then you can either do that, then come back to spread it later on and sew. But to make it easy for us, or to make it easy for it to be easy for you to attach the second layer, what you can also do is that you can pleat this to 40 inches. Remember, the circumference of what we measure here is 40 inches. So you go and gather this with your gather stitch, right? Gather it and make sure that you have 40 inches round. Then after which you come down 7 inches, right? You measure 7.5 inches. Remember that we want this to stop at 7. We want the second layer to start at 7.5 inches. So I'm going to be measuring the 7.5 inches here. Then I will get the second layer, which is my 60 inches times 2 times 2. So what I will have is what I'm going to be cutting again by width, then by the length starting from here to this point. So then I'm also going to gather it on this layer like this, gather it here, gather it here, gather it here to the end. So after which I'll come back to show you, then we'll attach it to the gown, right? So this is the first layer now. I've gathered it at this upper part. I use a white thread so that you can see it, how I gather it. So the gather is going to be very tiny. You can see how tiny the gather is, right? So I don't want the gather to be too much at this upper part. So I'm just going to maintain these gathers now. The way it is gathered here little, I'm just going to maintain it down like this, right? I'm just going to maintain it down. I'm not going to make it straight. So that means there will be little pleats, little gathers on this place that I'm going to be starting the second layer. Remember that I said from the upper part, which is here, to where this is started from is 7.5 inches, and that's what I measure from. That's what I measure here now. So 7.5 inches. So that's where I'm going to be placing the second gathers on. And here is the second gathers. I've also gathered it too. So this one, it has more gathers because this one is times 2, right? And then I added about 10 inches in that I add to it. So I'm just going to place it on it like this. I'm going to be leaving like half an inch to 1 inch up. Then I will stitch this first. I'll do it this way. And see what I'm doing here. I'm going to do it this way. Then I'll start it from here like this, maintaining a little pleat too on this part. Then I will sew it on it. I'll just sew it on top. I'll just go to my sewing machine and run a stitch on top, right? Just run my stitch on top like this while I leave half an inch up, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and sew it this way. So I'm going to do this first, right? I will do this first before I will now attach it to this. Then I will make sure that I will trim this, the both length to be equal. This one is a bit wider. I measure it to be a bit longer so that I can trim it up at the end, right? So both of them will be the same length. So I'm going to gather this now to this, and I'll come back to show you. So here is it. I've already sewed the second layer on this first layer now. This is it on the wrong side. This is it on the right side. So I just place it on top and sew on top of it. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to now place this now, gather these two, right, to this down part here. So I'll just place it on my fabric this way, right? So, and I'll start it from here. I'll start it from this angle So I'm going to be going up half an inch from this slit area from the back, right? Then I'll now start it from there. So for example, now I'll go up half an inch and I'll place it this way. Then I'm going to make it round to this other side, right? I'll just continue it this way. I'll just sew it all round to this other side. So then you have it straight down. After which I'll come and trim the down part to make sure that it's equal. Then I will now place after sewing it, then I'll place this velvet bias, right? Then I'll now place it on top. Then sew it on both edge, right? So I'll do that now and come back to show you. So here is it now. I've already sew it on it. So just as I said before now. So this is it. You can see where the thing, this is where I ended. So I cross the slit here, right? So remember I said from this slit I'm going to be going up half an inch, and that's where I'll start the sewing from, and that's where I start the sewing from too. So I sew this on it, then I place the this is what we're having here now. So turn it to the right side. Here is what we have. So this is it now. So it's looking beautiful, guys, and I'm loving it already. This is really beautiful. So I'll just go ahead to cut this sleeve. So I'll measure this armhole. So I'm going to measure the armhole round, right? So I'll just place my tape rule this way, and I'll measure the circumference here round. So what I have is what I'm going to be using to cut the sleeve by the length, right? So let's fold this in place. So here is the sleeve. I've already cut it out. So what I did here is very simple. This is what I have here. So what I did here was, so remember what I measured from the armhole was 10 inches. So this is the 10 inches here. So I use the length of I make use of 27 inches by length. Then I just draft, to make it easy for us, I draft basic sleeve from it. So this is my basic sleeve, right? From here to here is my basic sleeve. So I measure where the sleeve will stop here round. So what I have, 10 inches, now divided by 2, which gave me 5 inches, which gave me 5 inches. So I place the 5 inches here, then I add 1 inch, assuming for sewing allowance. Then here I just make my normal curve, the armhole curve, right? So I came down for my cap height. I make use of 5 inches cap height. So here 5 inches. Then I connect the armhole curve here, right? Then I connect it. Then I measure this place to have my 10 inches because I don't want the pleats there. So this is the 10 inches. Then I added 1 inch plus 1 inch for seam allowance. Then I connect it straight. After which, from here I measure from this place now where we have it accurate. Now measure 15 inches. Then I connect this in a form of A shape. So this is giving me form of A shape now, right? So I'll just go ahead now and notch all the necessary areas for all the center points to meet equally, right? That's what I'm doing here. That's for the both side of the sleeve. So the down parts, just as we have said, is going to be, I'm going to use elastic rubber to, after sewing the down part, right, then I will place my elastic rubber on it. That's to gather it on the elastic rubber. That's what I'm doing here now. So I'll just fold the down part. See the elastic rubber here. I'll just cut the amount that I need, then I'll pleat it, then fix it on it, after which I will attach it to the dress. So for the dress now, I'm going to bring it up now, and this is it here. So I'm going to attach the other side to the armhole, which is the covering part of the sleeve. I'll attach it to the armhole, and this is the end of this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and you see the end result. Here is the final look of the dress, guys. Thank you so much for watching to this point. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Tell me what you think about this video in the comment section. See you in my next one. Bye.